This lesson, we're going to be learning that tune, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Now, this is a real tough tune. It's going to be a multiple part lesson. In this lesson specifically, we're going to be working on the intro and the verses. And the guitar on the recording is not even entered the song yet. So what we're doing is playing the piano part on guitar, which makes it pretty tough. And you wouldn't have to, but I would suggest playing it fingerstyle. It makes it easier, and that's how I'm going to teach it. A lot of crazy chords because you're trying to mimic what the piano's doing, but really rewarding if you can get this down. So we're going to go over every part of this intro and verse, and then in part 2 and part 3, maybe even in part 4, we'll cover everything, including the guitar solo. So it starts with the a cappella thing, and there's really nothing playing there. It's just them singing, but the chords underneath are G minor. You're going to play that like that, just part of a G minor bar chord, but we're just going to play 5th fret, and then barring the 3rd fret, G, B, and E strings. And then you're going to go to a C dominant 7 chord. So that's just a C major, add your pinky on the 3rd fret of the G string. Then you go to F dominant 7, and then B flat. Okay, so that's all that is. And then here's where the piano would enter. So that's the intro right there. So let's go back. After our little 4 chords of the a cappella part at the very beginning, you have a full G minor bar chord, and you're going to strum it. So you're gonna finger pick from the D, G, B, high E, back to B, back to G, back to D. So that like this. Then you go to a B7 and just hold that out for it's a whole note. And then you're going to go to this. It's basically an E flat major chord. But I wouldn't play you don't necessarily need to play the whole chord like that, because you're not going to play the D string, so it's a little easier to just play it like this. You're going to pick A string, then G, then B, then high E. Then you're going to make like a D major shape here on the 8th fret. You're going to play, so you're just picking the E and B strings and then the G string. Then this shape. So that's like a, let's see, it's 8th fret G string, 8th fret B string, 6th fret E string. So that's, and then you go to a C minor 7 chord, and you're just going to pick. Then we're going to go to an F major chord. So that's a F major chord shaped like a C major chord. So if you played a C major and slid it up to here, so that's 8th fret, 7th fret, barring the 5th fret, G, B, and E strings, and then 6th fret on the B string here. But you're just going to play a low note, and then the high notes. So all that sounds like this. And then we have the and that's really pretty easy. It's just a major chord shape on B. So it's just part of this major bar chord, but we're just going to use the higher strings. So it's 9th fret, 8th fret, and then barring the 7th fret, B and high E strings. And you're just going to slide it a half step at a time. So it's, you do that twice. And then you go back to this E flat. So you're picking A, G, B and E strings together, back to G string, open D, then the B flat major bar chord shape that you just played, and then this is a little bit of a tough chord. This is a D flat diminished. So it's 4th fret, then you got 5th fret B string, 3rd fret high E string. You're going to pick those 3 strings together. And then you're going to pick the B string, then the B and E strings together, then back to the B string. Then you're going to go to a F7 over C. And that's, you're going to bar the 3rd fret from the A string up to the high E string. Then you got 5th fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. Okay, so let's go back. And if you're lost, please be referring to the tab. That's going to make it a lot easier. And I'm going to going a little faster here, because if you're trying to play this tune, you should be a little more advanced. This is definitely not something for beginners. So if I don't explain every note of every chord, forgive me, but you should be, if you're learning this song, you should know some of these chords easily. So back to the intro. So we got the chords at the beginning, the G, C dominant 7, F7, B flat. Then the picking comes in. B flat 7, then our E flat. Whoops, sorry. So that's where we are. Then there's a little piano lick. Sounds like that. That's 5th fret G string to 4th fret B to 6th fret B. And then 8th fret G, 6th fret B, 5th fret E. And then this is where the real recognizable riff comes in. Okay, so it's going to start on a B flat. It's just a B flat major bar chord. And you're going to pick right down the strings to the G string. Then you're going to move your pinky down to the 8th fret of the B string. Then come back and hit the A string. Then take that pinky off, hit the B string again, and back to the A string. So it's that's the strum pattern. You're going to use the same strum pattern on a few different chords. So once you get it down, it makes it a little easier. And you're going to play that on the B flat 3 times. And this is where the vocal comes in. Then you're going to go to a G minor chord. Now I'm not going to play the full G minor chord because you're going to need your pinky. So you're going to play it like this. So instead of having your 3rd finger here, you're going to move it down here. You're going to pick low E, D, G, B, high E with your pinky down on the 5th fret. So it's. Then you go back to the D string, then take your pinky off, back to the high E string, back to the D string. Just like we did the B flat, it's just a little bit different string. So. Then you do the same thing on C, so you're just moving that up to the 8th fret. Then you start the riff again, get that far, then go to an F dominant 7 chord, strum it, and then pick G, B, and E. So it sounds like this. Whoops, sorry. Then you start the B flat again. Just once that time, then to the G minor. Same riff. Now this time when you get to the C minor, you go that far. Then we're going to go. And that little move is 7th fret E string, 8th fret G string, 8th fret B string. You're going to pick E and G string together, then B string, and then just keep your fingers there and move your index finger back 1/2 step. Do the same thing. So it sounds like this. Then you're going to go to this next chord. It's kind of like an A, like you would bar an A chord. You're going to hit open A, 2nd fret G string, 4th fret B string, 3rd fret high E string. So we got. Then you're going to go grab the 4th fret low E string, then hit the 3rd fret high E string, and then go back to the 3rd fret and hit the 3rd fret again. Like that. Okay, so kind of some tough moves. One more time. And now we're to the part where the lyric is mama, right? Now we're back to our E flat. First 2 chords of this part. So you're going to pick root note on the A string, G string, then you're going to pick the B and E strings together, back to G, back to B and E, back to G. Then you're going to play this D over B flat, so it's 6/6 barred, 7 open D, and then pick the high E string. Then you're going to come up to our C minor again. Same riff. So we got, let's see, let's go from Now we have an F minor 7. You're going to pick the root note on the A string, G and B strings together, then G string, then all the high strings. And this is the real tough part. This chord. So this is a, I'm not even sure what it is. I have to look at the tab again. Oh, it's F major 7 to F minor 7. I'm sorry, it's F minor major 7. It's kind of like a jazz chord. So it's 7th fret, 8th fret, 9th fret, 8th fret. So you're going to pick A and B and high E strings together. Then move your first finger back. Then pick G. Then move just your third finger back and pick open D, G, B, and high E strings. And then pick the G string again. This part's really tough. Hopefully you can gather what I'm doing from there. Then we go to a B flat, major bar chord. And this is kind of a build up. And he's going to do some different stuff within this chord, but you're going to hit the low strings first, and then 2 hits on just the low E string. Then you're going to pick just the D, G, and B strings with the 6th fret, with the root. It sounds like this. Okay, so it's low notes, root note, pick the D, G, and B strings, back to the low notes, then play, this is a B flat 6. So it's 8, 7, 8, back to the low notes, and then move your pinky up. So it's then we're back to the E flat. Same kind of thing you did before. A, G, B and E strings together, back to G. Then the B flat over D. Just like that. Then C minor. Picking the same strings basically. And then A flat minor. You're just going to let that ring out. So that's. And then we have one more little part here. So that is almost the same as what it was in the intro. You did that before. Then you play this D shape. Then this shape. Just like we did before. Now you're going to do 7th fret B, 5th fret E, alternated by this 8th fret on the G string. And then slide that down 1/2 step. Play the 8th fret again. So it's. And then we're back to that. And then I think I'll make sure before I do part 2 that it goes through that whole thing again for the second verse. But it might be a little different toward the end, I'm not sure. But that's definitely enough to work on for a week or two. It's a tough tune because most tunes that are piano transposed to guitar, it's kind of difficult because the voicings just are a little tough to do on guitar, but you can definitely do it. It just takes a lot of practice and muscle memory. So there you have it. That's the first part of our epic lesson series on Bohemian Rhapsody.